What's up everybody, it's Big Mace, and holy crap, it's already October. Well, it will be by the time you guys watch this video, if it even goes up on the YouTube. But yeah, that's my B. But since October's here, and Black Ops 4 is literally around the corner, I figured it would only be right to make a video discussing how I felt about Call of Duty World War II, my honest opinions on the multiplayer and the zombies. And yes, unfortunately, I never did get to playing the single player. Yes, it was a disservice towards the developers, Sledgehammer Games, for not playing it, but for me, from what I've heard, it was very much like what you normally see in Call of Duty. You usually see lots of QTEs, really big set pieces that really don't make sense in the context of the story, and yada 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 yada. Now, I will touch on a few things that I didn't mention in my script. First of all was the changing up the health system to where there isn't the, you don't have the auto-regenerating health. It's not like, oh, let me get behind this bulletproof rock and wait for my health to regenerate. No, you gotta go up to one of your squad mates and say, hey, I need a health pack. Here, you use it. Oh, I need ammo. No, having to search for a gun. Hey, I need a bandolier for my M1 Garens. Here it is. So, I think that was a really good addition to the game. It changed it up a lot. But then again, I didn't play the single player. I don't know if I would have enjoyed it or not. It's just, I wasn't really interested with this game, and that's going to kind of be a spoiler to how I feel about the game. And I'm going to go ahead and say, I did not enjoy this game as much as I thought I would. But honestly, let's start with the parts I did play, starting with zombies. I'm going to be honest. I did not play zombies as much as I thought I was going to at all, and this coming from a guy who started his channel at 12 wanting to be a zombies YouTuber. My first video, which is now private, was me at 12 playing Kino der Toten on my Xbox 360. I recorded with my brother's 3DS at beautiful, beautiful, beautiful no, not 480p, it wasn't even that good, it was freaking 240p, if not that. And it was god-awful. I mean, there's a reason I have that privated, never to see the light of day again. But I in the words of Edward Richtofen, I digress. The Final Reich was the only zombies map besides Groston House that I played. That being, I did have the Pro Edition of the game. I just never bothered installing the DLCs because I didn't enjoy the game to begin with. That was 20 plus gigabytes of space I could have saved on other games that I was getting free for having Xbox Live Gold or what have it. But from what I did play of the Final Reich, I really enjoyed it. I liked some of the things they added. The first real thing I liked that they added was the notebook that you could add if you pressed the share button on PS4 and whatever the button is on the Xbox One. You could see kind of like it gives you objectives, but they're very vague, but they're still objective. It's like, okay, you need to activate the pilot light, but how do you do that? You gotta activate the salt mine door, but how do you do that? You gotta do this and that. It's never explicitly telling you, but it's still helping you along to where people can do the Easter eggs. Because that was always the problem. Like, I never wanted to have to look at 20 different kind of COD YouTube videos just to figure out how to open the Pack-a-Punch, which thankfully this game fixed. Unlike with a bunch of the other zombie maps in past that have very complex means of getting to Pack-a-Punch, it's kind of the old school zombies thing. You find 3 things, you activate them, you use them, and then voila, you have a pack-a-pooched weapon. I mean, it was that simple, you know? If you had enough points to open everything up and get to the Pack-a-Punch room after doing everything, you could pretty much have a pack-a-punched weapon at a decent enough round back in zombies, back in the olden days of zombies. If I had to rank the Final Reich in terms of on-disc map quality, I would say it's good. But it's nowhere near as the kind of good level that Nacht der Untoten and Kino der Toten were. It's nowhere near as good as those, and it's a hella better than Space Lane and Transit. Now, you might be saying,
But Mason, why didn't you mention Shadows Eva Outbreak? Unsubscribe!
First, I stayed away from Shadows, and what in God's name was Blundell thinking? I got the Digital Deluxe Edition, so I spent most of my time until DLC 1 of Black Ops 3 playing the Giant, And then Outbreak was the first DLC. It came with the DLC for Advanced Warfare. The Exo Zombies was DLC, not on disc, which was something that Treyarch hit home in the lead up to Black Ops 3, which I thought was funny. But in all honesty, like, what little time I spent playing Zombies this year, I enjoyed it on the Final Reich. It was a very simple map, small, like, Zombies maps really shouldn't be, they shouldn't be super small, but they shouldn't be super big either. They shouldn't be the same kind of size as Transit or Call of the Dead. Actually, Call of the Dead was actually a really good usage of the size, but like, you had a few big open areas, and then you also had the tight corridors. But I mean, Black Ops 1 was really where Zombies started to peak. Then Black Ops 2 is where people say it peaked. For me, that's where it started falling off. That's just me, though. But what am I going to say? I'm a jaded Call of Duty fan. I'm going to say that several times in this. But I really, all in all, enjoyed the Zombies from what little time I spent in it. I loved the little intro to the Final Reich, where you got to play the prologue. And it showed you, like, all the different mechanics. It showed you, okay, hey, you can do a quick slash with your shovel or do an execution. It explained the jolts. It explained pretty much everything, which I thought was really good. It showed you, like, the bare necessities, what you needed to know before going in to the Final Reich, which I thought was a great. And one last thing I want to say about Zombies was the horror aesthetic they tried to play with. I really liked that they tried that, it's just they relied a little too much on jump scares. Seriously, I will say that the Zombies was really good. From someone who just played the base on-disc content, it was really good, you know? I will give it a 4.25 stars out of a Dave Meltzer 5-star rating. And now, really, to finish this up, I'm going to talk about something I put, or really, it's going to be more of the meat and potatoes of this video. Something that I put a lot of time into, if you consider the amount of time I put into it, which was, in comparison to other Call of Duties, very short, and that was the multiplayer. For me, this game had to contend with Advanced Warfare. It had to be as good as Advanced Warfare, in my opinion, which is setting the bar a little higher than I needed it to be. Because, in my personal opinion, I enjoyed Advanced Warfare more than Black Ops 3's multiplayer and Infinite Warfare's multiplayer combined. If you want an honest opinion on that, I spent more time playing Modern Warfare Remastered than I did both Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare's multiplayer, just because I just wasn't a fan of that game, of those games, and I will explain more of why I'm not a fan of those two games later on. But I don't know what it was with Advanced Warfare that I enjoyed so much, but I was like, okay, there's a few issues that were in Advanced Warfare that I'm hoping Sledgehammer has fixed, but then there's also problems that Advanced Warfare didn't have for me that this game had as well, and, you know, I kind of want to try to explain that as well as I can. Now, I played the multiplayer beta for the Xbox One last year, and I have to say, I had high hopes for the game at the time, because I really enjoyed it. The game felt very smooth, it felt very good and comfortable for me. And there were one or two things that bothered me during the Xbox One and PC betas that they had, but that's mainly because Hurricane Harvey was kind of destroying everything in Southeast Texas during the time of the PC beta, so my connection was even more shit than usual, and oh yeah, it kind of helps the power went out too, so... But, joking about Harvey aside, there's several things I love about the game. I think I have about 6 or 7 that I have listed, and I'm going to elaborate about these. First of all, the setting. I love World War II as a setting for any kind of fiction, any kind of historical fiction. There are so many different stories you can tell. You can tell about that young man just out of high school, doesn't really have any sense of purpose, knowing where he wants to go, then he gets this, here's the Call of Duty, and he wants to answer it. So you could name a movie or hell, a video game series that becomes popular by millions and millions of people, Call of Duty. Which, bad puns aside, there are just so many different stories you can tell in World War II. You can tell about... But in all honesty, I love the World War II setting, it's just they didn't execute it very well, in my opinion. But the second thing I want to hit upon with the multiplayer is, or just the game in general, was really, and now it's multiplayer. The first thing was just game specific. This first part, or the second thing, is Sledgehammer's support of the game. I think it was really good. At first, they would tell us here and thing, and then there was a bit of time where they weren't telling us very much, but towards like the mid part of the life cycle, I think around March or April, they started this weekly kind of progress report newsletter thing they put on Reddit to explain like, hey, this is what we've been working on, hey, we're listening to you, and also here's a little tease of things we've got coming down the pipeline, which I thought was great. This was much better than what we got from Wendell Wobble and the guys at Raven with Modern Warfare Remastered, if anybody remembers that. It was really complicated for that, because we had no idea what was coming, when it was coming, or if it even was coming. So, you really could never be honest with them. And they were really good about paying attention to bugs, to the weapon balance, and on the bugs issue, there are a bunch of them that still plague me to this day, but really, who cares? Third, war. I love war. Not just any kind of war. You see, I just love war in general, and that's it for me trying to impersonate Nick Landis's The Major from Hellsing Ultimate Abridged. I'm sorry. I will now go commit suicide in the forest for Logan Paul to vlog me.
Hey, Christian channel?
Oh wait, that joke's 9 months out of date. But anyway, the war mode was amazing. I enjoyed it whilst I played the game. And a lot of people, like myself, thought this game, the war mode was going to try to copy what Battlefield 1 had with Operations. Which, what was to be expected, you kind of have, like, missions set in. It's a narrative-driven style of objective game. But I think Operation Breakout during the multiplayer beta kind of quelled that and said, hey, this is actually really cool, and some of the additions they made to the game was really good. I think the idea of them not tracking the kill-death ratio of players in the mode did a lot to trying to force players into playing the objective, which, if you've played Call of Duty objective modes, you know how casual players don't tend to play the objective because they don't want to hurt their precious KD ratio that won't matter after the next game comes out. Anyway, I enjoyed war until I got burnt out of playing the same 3 maps over and over again until February. Because, yay, console exclusivity! Woo! Which kind of makes me like, oh wait, I probably should have gotten a PS4 in 2014 instead of an Xbox One. Oh shit! Well, anyway, I enjoyed war. I think it was an interesting idea that they did really well. They've added new operations to it that I've heard are really fun. I've just never played them because I never bothered installing the DLC because it just never made sense. Like I said earlier, that was just 10, 20, 30 gigabytes of storage that could be better served elsewhere. And honestly, I just wasn't interested in the game when the DLCs came out to begin with. Fourth thing, I don't know if it's true or not, but if I remember correctly, Drifter or somebody confirmed back pre-release that the game was going to be running on 60-tick servers. Which I don't think I need to explain them, but is pretty much when a server runs on 60 ticks, that means it's pretty much refreshing 60 times in a second. Kind of similar to 60 frames per second or a 60 Hz monitor, and I think its technical term is a 60 Hz server, which, compared to older Call of Duty servers, which I think ran on 10 to 20, maybe even 30, I don't even know, it felt a lot smoother than, say, going back and playing from Modern Warfare Remastered the year before, and then Black Ops 3, and then Advanced Warfare, and so on and so forth. But the game felt really smooth. It's just, for me, I still have connection issues because I live out in the middle of the boonies. So, what am I gonna do there? But the game did feel a lot smoother when the connection was good, which I will have to say is a positive. And from here on out, things are gonna get a little bit more brief, as I don't have as much to say about them. Fifth, events were great. I just never could play during them because of either my senior year of high school or baseball. That is a big lie. I was probably playing other video games instead of World War II because I was annoyed at it. Sixth, the contracts and orders were great. Always nice to have those back. There are some improvements they could have made on those. But, I mean, heck, you can get supply drops without paying money for COD points. I mean, that's good, isn't it? Probably not, but who knows. I would just rather supply drops be gone and all the content be either given to people for playing the game for free, like other games, or, you know, just earnable through challenges. Lastly, the division system. It was a nice change of pace, you know. Yes, it wasn't very well received, but I mean, heck, any changes, or any attempts, I should say, to revamp and just try to reinvent the creator class that we saw back all the way in Call of Duty 4 is really, you know, I enjoy it. I mean, I applaud them for trying that. So, I mean, good on you. Now, lastly, I have about 25 things that I disliked with the game. And keep in mind, I think that, yeah, the 25th one on this list is just a shitload of other nitpicks that I can't think off the top of my head. So, I'm gonna try to list these off and try to just get through them in a rather rapid fire pace. So, let me clear my voice, and let's get into it. First, time to kill. I'm a fan of not high time to kill games. I'm a fan of fast time to kill games. I don't like games that involve having to take a second to get one kill, similar to Halo, which is kind of weird, but I've always said that because my aim has been shit on console, and I just never really enjoyed the slow time to kill games. I just really enjoyed Advanced Warfare because of how fast-paced it was. It's kind of probably the only reason I enjoyed it, now that I think about it. But I just didn't enjoy the time to kill in this game. I felt that the assault rifles were really undervalued, and I should say the semi-automatic rifles. The full-auto rifles were kind of the overpowered guns. Typically, like the FG-42 at launch could pretty much three-shot people from across Gustav cannon. The bar was overpowered 1 second, then nerfed, but then that's something else. And the STG was pretty much the ACR of this game. And then the LMGs, don't get me started on them. I mean, there's no way LMGs should be the new SMGs because of how big and slow they are. That ties into number 2, the weapon balance and player variety of using them. I mean, Call of Duty players are a simple breed. They use whatever's easy enough to use. I mean, if it doesn't take much skill, they're gonna use camping. I mean, I could tell a lot of the players had played Advanced Warfare or the other jetpack games before, because there was a lot of camping in this game. A lot of corner camping. So much corner camping. And that doesn't really help with the map design, which I'll get into later. The HQ's execution. I had originally put that I liked the idea of the HQ, I just didn't like the HQ because I'm not a social person. I'm what you call antisocial. I'm an introvert. And I just don't interact with people very well, so... And I liked the HQ. I liked it, but I didn't like the way they executed it, because for like 2 months, you were forced to load into it, which could take anywhere between 5 seconds to 5 minutes before you could even play a match of Team Deathmatch, which takes about 5 minutes when you think about it. So I really didn't like that. Score streaks, way too weak. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. They were really weak, and it took way too much score to get them. I mean, 500 score for a UAV, that's way too much, especially for someone who plays exclusively Team Deathmatch. It's way too much. Supply drops in general, hate them. COD points in general, hate them. Map design, I honestly have to say the map design in this game and number of maps are probably the worst things about this game. This game had 12 maps in the multiplayer at launch. That's including the 3 war maps. Now you could say 10 if you count Carentan, which came with the pre-order bonus of the game. Which, oh my god, so many not maps. There were so many maps that weren't there. If you go back and look at videos from the time of the beta, the entirety of DLC 1 was in the game files during the beta, and Activision forced them to release those maps as part of DLC 1 and have the game launch with 9 standard maps in the normal multiplayer rotation, which was stupid. There being supply drop weapons is another thing that I dislike. There being a lot of bugs on the standard Xbox One. I mean, I don't know for people who played this game on the Xbox One X or the Slim. I have been playing on an Advanced Warfare Xbox One for the past 4 years, and games, and more often, games are becoming less and less good to run on, which is not fun. Not at all. Lag. That's always a bad thing, especially when you shouldn't be lagging. You shouldn't have a bad connection when you have a 3 bar, you know, when you have a 3 or a 4 bar, you know, when you have a good connection, but still you're lagging like a piece of crap, like you're playing PUBG in beta, or really any time you're playing PUBG, because PUBG still lags. Who am I kidding? Oh yeah, here's one, a AAA game in 2017/18 that has the peer-to-peer dedicated server hybrid system. Come on, Activision. You're a Fortune 500 company. When are you going to give us just strictly dedicated servers and not having us run on the peer-to-peer dedicated hybrids that we've been since Call of Duty Ghost? I mean, come on already. Requisitions ruined the game for the longest time, and they didn't want to get rid of it. I mean, I enjoyed using it until I realized, oh wait, this is completely broken and overpowered, so I'm going to stop using it. Which I stopped using it because there were better perks like Hustle, or Scavenger, or Stalker, or Dead Silence, a bunch of other great perks in the game. This one is, these next two are memes. I don't know why I put them here, but they're memes. First, no Spanish Inquisition DLC.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
I mean, nobody expects them, so it would have been a good idea. I don't know why I put that there or why I'm laughing. Next, no Snoop Dogg voice pack DLC. Like I said, I'm memeing these two, so really, you know, if you're gonna put DLC in the game, why don't you put goofy stuff in there? Like, you know, having Snoop Dogg as the announcer. I think that was probably the best part of Ghosts, was running around listening to Snoop Dogg tell you that an enemy SATCOM's activated somewhere.
Friendly SATCOM up in the hazy.
Not being able to download or upload, not being able to download other players' creations like paint jobs or emblems. And also, I will say, the delay on getting the paint jobs and the custom emblems into the game. That took way too long for you guys to get into the game. I mean, come on. Treyarch had that shit in at launch for Black Ops 3. I mean, what can I say? The taunts. I don't like the taunts. I just don't like things out of supply drops in general. I mean, it ruins with the World War II aesthetic. It's too goofy. The UI needed a lot of work. I mean, in the pause menu, having used the bumpers, left and right bumper on Xbox and L1, R1 on PS4. I mean, I don't understand why that's there. Another meme here, the update requires restart. I mean, like, okay, I want to play the game. I just downloaded a 20 gigabyte update from Xbox Live. Now I gotta download another update when I get in game? Which I think those are really playlist updates, but really, I'm just nitpicking here. Next, no gun game at launch. I mean, gun game's fun. I mean, why can't you have that at launch? I mean, Treyarch had it at launch of Black Ops 3, I think. Heck, I think even Infinity Ward had it at launch in Infinite Warfare, I think. I don't know, I never played that game. The hit detection. I did not like the hit detection. That probably suits in because I have horrible internet. The domination increased from 100, or actually from 50 to 100 or 75, whatever it is now. I mean, honestly, why? Why? That forces people to do the antithesis of an objective mode. It forces people to go for kills rather than captures. Come on, Sledgehammer. The matchmaking. I got horrible teams so often, it was ridiculous. And right now, I'm just rambling. I mean, like, literally rambling. I'm looking at my timestamps in Audacity. And honestly, there's a bunch of the other stuff that I could say, but in all honesty, I didn't put that much time into the game. In reality, I only have 3 days and some odd hours in the multiplayer. Compare that to Black Ops 2's roughly 16 days and Advanced Warfare's 11 and counting. Because that gameplay from Advanced Warfare I showed you now or earlier, that was from today at the time of recording this commentary. You know, and in which, in comparison to 11 and 16 days, 3 days and like some odd hours isn't very long. I mean, I lost interest in the game around February. Like, when I was realizing that Activision was putting in a bunch of bullshit that didn't need to be there. And it just really just aggravated me more than anything, you know? That Activision was forcing Sledgehammer to do things that they didn't want to, and I just wasn't enjoying the game like I wanted to. Like, I told myself at the beginning of the game's life cycle, I was going to try to get to a level 1000. I was going to try to get as close to that as I could. I was going to try to get Platinum Medal, which at the time we didn't know. I just said it was going to be the Dark Matter equivalent of this game. And a bunch of little menial goals I was going to try to do, like complete all the challenges or something like that. But, like I said, I just lost interest in the game. I just got burnt out playing the same 9 maps over and over again. I just got tired to dying to the same stupid things over and over again. It was the same stuff in every lobby, and I just got tired of it. You know, and then after a while, the game just quickly started collecting dust on my desk. And games like PUBG, Black Ops 2, since that was backwards compatible, started taking up more time. You know, I started playing Sword Art Online Phantom Bullet when that first came out, because honestly, I liked the idea of Gun Gale Online. Oh my god, that's another video idea. And Doom, of course, I had to play Doom 2016, because that game's fucking amazing. Fight Me, and a bunch of other games. You know, and in the end, I will say this. World War II is a good game. It's not a good game. It's not a great game. It's not a bad game. It's just a good game. And I'm gonna quote Ryan, or Prestigious Key here, who commonly says that if you ever see World War II in a clearance bin at Walmart or whatever store you can find that it's on sale at, grab it. I mean, buy this game if it's on sale. Because it's a good game. If you like Call of Duty, good old-fashioned, boots-on-the-ground Call of Duty, with some of the newer aspects they've added over the last couple of years, I mean, go ahead and play it. It's a good game on its own, it's just not the best game like I thought it was going to be. I lost interest in it because over the past couple of years, I have quickly become jaded towards the series. I've quickly become jaded because I'm just tired of all the stuff that Activision's putting in the game. You know, I'm growing up. I have grown up with the Call of Duty series. While I was recording the gameplay for this, I kept frequently reminding myself that I started playing this back when I had just started junior high. I was playing this game series back when I was in 6th grade. And I was making YouTube videos at that time, and now that I'm actually finally out of high school, and I'm really realizing that there are other games to play besides just Call of Duty, which I've known, it's interesting, you know, now that I know more about games in general, that, you know, Call of Duty just isn't the best thing. Like, I used to have a lot of fun playing this game. Like, I can actively remembering setting an alarm for 5 in the morning just to get up and grinding out what was left of a double XP weekend in Black Ops 2 before school the next morning. Which, you know, was the days. I'm sorry for stuttering, but you know, with all that said, you know, after what has happened with Black Ops 3, World War II, Infinite Warfare, and everything else, I am gonna hold out and wait until after the launch with Black Ops 4, because they haven't said anything about the Black Ops Pass. They haven't said anything about supply drops or anything with Black Ops 4, so I'm just gonna hold out and see what happens. So, honestly, if I had to give World War II a grade that you would get here in American schooling, I don't know how it is everywhere else, on a rating scale from A+ down to F, I would say this game is a B+ player. I would definitely say it. You know, this game is a solid B+ player. Or I would probably say a B, but, you know, I'm going to say B+ player because that makes a meme out of another possible video idea I have. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know I'm not good at, you know, post commentaries. I normally don't ever try these because I fumble my words. But I wrote a script. I just kind of went over it like as guidelines for what I wanted to say, and I just let the words come out of my mouth. You know, they might have been good, might have been bad, but just let me know what you guys think. And also, you know, like the video, it helps people finally find me. You know, I'm trying to make this channel a little bit more active than it used to be going, like 6 to 8 months between uploads, or maybe even a year or two and plus. And I said I wasn't gonna live stream, but I wanted to try it. So if I have the the motivation to live stream, I will. Just don't expect it very often because my internet is total crap. So, but anyway, guys, I'm sorry for this very awkward sounding commentary because I'm socially awkward. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, don't forget to click the like button. If you're in Australia, click the upside down dislike button. That works. You know, trust me. So, wait, the upside down. Yeah. Keep clicking dislike if you live in Australia. PewDiePie fans look at that. But anyway, as always, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everybody.